The all clear has been given, and all that remains is this crime scene tape that marks the exact spot that the bomb squad was called to earlier this afternoon. Some synagogues across the city are ramping up security in the wake of a Pittsburgh shooting on the Sabbath. Dozens of firefighters at this location. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see them hard at work. Those ladders extended all the way to the top of that building. A man they knew as a single father of 3 young kids is now accused of being a predator, using spirituality and santeria to lure his victims to his apartment here, where he would physically and sexually abuse them. 2 adults and 3 babies are recovering this afternoon after police say they were stabbed in a daycare operating out of a house in Flushing, Queens. And on a normal day, you'd see the water not even 50 yards behind me, but today you can't even make out where the land stops and where the water begins. There are a lot of undocumented immigrants here who are tax-paying residents here in the country. They have children here, and they just want to know what's the next step. This is where hip-hop got started, right here in the Boogie Down Bronx. So, of course, we have tons of legends on hand for today. Kid Capri just got off stage. We had Fat Joe, Remy Ma, Cardi B. Whenever these come out of the kitchen, Brian says they usually get one of 2 reactions. So how much are many of us spending on Halloween? The answer, enough to make you scream.
I'll die as a gator.
Presumably his words.
Not me. Yeah, not me. That was Tim Tebow who said that.
You said you'll be here through 8 p.m. tonight, working hard to make sure that people are safe as they tackle the sidewalks out here.
That's right. That's right. You're not going to slip on my watch.
I like that. Mike, thank you so much from me and from everyone here in Morris Heights here today. The science section.
Yes.
That is so you.
It was.
Here I am playing with Tamagotchis and you're growing your mind. Already some big races being called less than an hour after polls have closed on primary day. Let's get right to some of those numbers. Federal officials at the Department of Justice moments away from holding a press conference on the recent developments in those suspicious packages found across the country. A Baychester man who strangled and beat his pregnant daughter and then hid her body in a crawl space has been sentenced to 25 years in prison. Neighbors here telling me they could not have predicted what happened here today. In fact, if you take a look, you can see the remnants of today's event outside of that 5th floor apartment window, and flashlights remain inside at this hour as investigators still look into the cause of it all. What they do know is that a father almost killed his entire family here today had it not been for the quick thinking work of neighbors and first responders.
Screaming and hollering that he wanted to kill his family, he was going to burn them up.
The man behind those disturbing statements seen here in this exclusive video as police took him into custody Friday morning. This as the NYPD confirms that he tried to burn his entire family to death, including his 2-month-old grandson. After getting into an argument with his son around 10:40 this morning.
I said, what happened? He said, we were lying on the bed and Dad threw hot oil on us.
Authorities telling us the father poured scalding grease on his teenage son and daughter, who was holding her baby boy, before throwing it on the mother of his children and a grandmother. He then let the stove catch fire and escaped the 5th floor apartment on East 236th Street, but not before barricading the door with this couch, leaving his family trapped inside.
But he was thin enough so that he could actually get through the hole that he left. Once he got into the hallway, the occupants of that floor were able to tackle him and hold him for the police when they arrived.
As firefighters fought from outside, the children were able to get out of the apartment and get to a neighbor who says she called 911 after witnessing the extent of their injuries.
Look at his back. His back is burned from his neck go down. And the girl ran downstairs with the baby. And when I looked, the baby got burned here, and she burned from head to toes.
And all 5 of those family members, including the baby, were taken to NYC Health and Hospitals Jacoby in serious condition, although we are told that their burns are not considered life-threatening. As for the father, he too was taken to an area hospital for treatment, his name not being released by police yet, as charges are pending at this hour. In Wakefield, Amanda Bossard, News 12 The Bronx. Driving down Webster Avenue, you might miss it at first glance. This otherwise unassuming shop, except the ride sitting outside might make you do a double take.
They're all cool cars. And if they're not cool, after they get in here, they leave here cool.
Because inside the Auto Sports Garage is where sparks fly and original designs are stitched together.
There's no limits to what we could do. We could make anything happen.
This family business has been bringing the latest car customization trends to Fordham for more than a decade, working on everything from what's under the hood to the overall look and feel, installing rims, lifts, lights, even entire wraps. And then there are the more unconventional requests.
Like coolers, refrigerators inside the car.
In-car offices, fax machines, printers.
Our shop is really a great example of showcasing like the style and the pizzazz of the Bronx. So that's what made us famous here in our hometown.
It's also caught the attention of some famous people. Thanks to social media, the team of 3 brothers and their sister now has a growing list of celebrity clients, like the woman who will be getting behind the wheel of this one-of-a-kind Mercedes-Benz G500 Cabriolet.
We've recently done Little Kim, Queen Bee's car. Very, very nice. Very rare G-Wagon coupe convertible. Fully detailed and customized inside out. The value of this vehicle today is about $300,000.
But not all jobs are on vehicles that expensive. They take on simpler fixes and upgrades too.
Modifications start at $95. They could go up to as high as your imagination could go. Anything with a steering wheel, 4 wheels, even 2 wheels or 1 wheel will make it happen.
Making sure you roll out of Auto Sports in a car cool enough to turn some heads on the road. In Fordham, Amanda Bossard, News 12 The Bronx. Suleiman Porgo is all smiles.
And I'm happy. I'm so happy, man.
Back to work at the very same spot where his job almost cost him his life.
6 people hate me. 1 million people love me. Who's better?
His laugh, a sign of the street vendor's miraculous recovery after 6 men beat up Porgo over a purse he was selling in May of last year. They fractured his skull and left him in a coma for 11 days. After that brutal attack, Porgo says that doctors told him he only had a 30% chance of living and that if he did, he certainly would never be able to walk or talk again. Well, today, not only is he walking to and from work 16 blocks every day, he also says he is happier than ever before.
I'm good. I'm better than before. I'm healthy.
Thanks to the team at Lincoln Hospital, the 49-year-old was well enough to return to his stand at 149th Street and 3rd Avenue last November, the place where he has set up shop since 2005. Now he's only selling socks and undergarments, the shelves that once held purses left bare. Despite some initial nerves, Porgo says he never doubted his decision to go back.
You know, I'm a little scared about why stay home, why change the job, why don't come over to show me their love.
The effects of the assault still being felt. He goes to speech and physical therapy twice a week. The suspects in the crime all charged with gang assault, something Porgo says taught him how to handle life's blows.
Fight with your life. Be happy. That's it. I'm not giving myself down because these people did to me. I'm alive. Where they are. I don't know where they are.
What we do know is that this man is right back where he belongs, in the hub. Amanda Bossard, News 12 The Bronx.